Hey guys, welcome to another edition in the GT show. Hey, apologies, the lighting is a bit dark. I'm doing this one on the fly. What I'm going to do today is I often, before I take on a coaching client, I send a relatively in-depth audit in order to figure out how best to help a person. You know, it's sort of gotten to the point where the marketing that I've been doing sees more people kind of wanting help from me than I have time to get to. So what I do is I kind of send people, hey, fill in this 8-page audit before, so I can just make sure that you have some of the gaps in your business that my skill set can fill. So that way I don't waste your time and vice versa. So in this one case, there's a young fellow from New Zealand who wanted some help, but he's at a point where the one-on-one help that I provide, he's just starting, so he can't afford any of the one-on-one stuff. So I thought, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to do him an audit, and really what this does is, this is a kind of one for the rookies. This is for someone who can't afford to work with me one-on-one. A lot of people's beginning audits would look somewhat like this one. So this will serve him, and it'll serve anyone else who's in the beginning stages of their career. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the audit. In fact, I might put a little copy of a blank audit down here so you can kind of see the questions that I'm going through, and maybe apply some of my thinking to where you're at in your business. So certainly on the front page, I ask what media he's using at all. He's using sparingly or not effectively, or he's using effectively. That's what I ask. And what media are you using? Are you using social media? Flyers? What are you doing? And all of his that he's got here, he's not using any of them effectively. So my first piece of advice based on this audit is what we need to do is work on one. Let's get one or two media right, and then let's move on to the next. Let's stop using, in this case, 8 media ineffectively. As you say, you're either using it sparingly or not effectively, whichever way. Let's ditch your activities on a daily basis on 6 out of these 8, and let's just focus on 2. Probably the 2 to focus on, given that if you're just starting out, then you're probably not exactly flush for cash. Then you've got to really, telemarketing has got to be one of them, because you know you've got a phone with a all-you-can-eat account, so that would be one. And you know what, the other one's either going to be door knocking or Facebook. What I like about Facebook, if you've got some skill there, and I haven't got time on this video to talk in great depth about the specific how-tos. In fact, I might put a link to a little video I've got on how to use Facebook pay-per-click, and I think I've still got it up at like the stupid price that I had it up, like $10 or something. So let me just pop up the link to my online domination course, which literally is like $10 or $20 or something. Yeah, that I recorded some time ago. So that's where I would start with, but we're definitely going to start with telemarketing. So that's one thing. So the next thing you've got here is I ask about what CRM you're using. Now, one of the other episodes in the GT show, I talk specifically about CRMs. Just go a few episodes ago. I don't know if my team can link it up. Let's see if they can stick up a little click here thing. Right there. Boom, link. You can click it. You can go have a look at the CRM thing, but you need to get it. At the moment, you don't seem to be using one. So again, you're going to see on that other video right there why you should be using a CRM and which CRMs are my preference. So again, the next thing I've got here is on how things are difficult or easy. You've just taken the easy route. You haven't analyzed this. You've just said everything's difficult and everything's important. I agree, but you didn't give me a hierarchy, so that's no use to me. What that's saying to me is you're struggling in every way, shape, or form. So really then what that lends me to believe, you give me a blanket answer like that, like everything's tough, nothing's working, then I'm going to give you a blanket answer. Stop sleeping, right? Whatever you're doing as a hobby, if you're currently playing any sport whatsoever, okay, maybe just go, here's that, instead of that sport, which you might say, oh, but Glenn, I need my physical exercise or whatever. Well, okay, the sport goes. Now, I'm not saying give up sport. I'm saying if you want this real estate thing to work for you, then you might have to give up that particular type of physical exercise that's taking up 4 hours of your week. Because what if that 4 hours, instead you change your physical activity to be delivering a very, again, if cost is an issue, then you might not have the ability to print out en masse flyers and go to printers or whatever. So you might just have to get one flyer printed in your office, or maybe go to a printer, because often, I tell you, often it's cheaper to go to a printer than it is to print in your own office, and just get one flyer and get tens of thousands of them printed. So you can just keep delivering, maybe just one flyer if that's all you can afford. And then every week, You spend an hour a day walking the streets of your, and again, I know it's another episode of the GT show, here it is. There's your answer for that. Get your physical exercise while you're adding to your brain, while you're out there in your streets, while you're out there getting physically healthy, while you're listening to things like the GT show or other trainings that I've got available. You're out there adding to your brain, your business, and all that. And I talked about that in great detail right there. So, there's what I say to that blanket answer. You need to work harder. If nothing's working, and that's your answer to those, rank all these things as to how easy they are and how important they are. You say everything's impossible, right? Because you've ranked them all as 5 out of 5 on a difficulty rating, and they're all important. Well, you're right, so I give you equally as blanket an answer. You need to work every waking hour of every minute of every day until you've got a ranking system. Because at the moment, if that's true, then you're that far from leaving the industry. So I hate to say this, I hate to be so crass as to say stop your hobbies, stop your sport, stop everything, because you're about to leave the industry. And if that's acceptable to you, that's okay then. So then you don't have to stop your hobbies. Then you can go and get a job somewhere, working for someone. Hey, come work for me. Believe me, I'll work you harder than you're currently being asked to work. But you know what I'm saying? Real estate isn't the only option. If real estate is your option, though, then you need to heed this advice. So I move on. Okay, on the next one, you've sort of talked about, so the first one was marketing, lead generation, and all that sort of stuff, and conversions. The next one is you're talking about your financials, finding time to implement new strategies. You've got plenty of time, but you're not implementing the right strategies because none of them are working right now. So, yeah, cool. Okay. So let's go through it. So you've got youth on your side. You're 20. Been in the game 6 months. And 1 month in your current business. So there's the other thing. You've got the goals and the desires for this to be your career for the rest of your life, perhaps. And if nothing's going on right now in your business, well, welcome to real estate. Nothing ever goes on. I mean, Phil Harris, right, one of the best real estate agents in the game, just recently spoke with us over at the Richard Branson event. Phil Harris didn't do it. Well, he did about your results in 6 months in the game, right? I think Phil said, and don't quote me, but I think Phil said he made 1 sale in his first 6 months. 1, right? So welcome to the game. So now if you want to do better, you can do better, but don't go thinking that you're 20 years old, 6 months in the game. Boy, oh boy! Now think about this. What did you expect? Did you expect some people with very little training? Because it says here, what training have you done in the past? None. When you have no extra dollars, it's hard to attend events. So I know this is harsh. And I apologise for this being harsh, but hey, you asked my opinion, so I'm going to throw it at you. Did you expect someone with no experience, with very little training, well, in fact, as far as this audit is concerned, no training, no experience, 6 months in the game, did you expect people to give you, to list, their $500,000 asset, probably the largest asset they're ever likely to own? Did you expect them to hand that over, give to you, entrust the care of that to you? They're not likely to ever own a larger investment in their life. Are they going to give it to a 20-year-old who doesn't have the training? Thus, how can you say the right magic words if you haven't been trained in what words to say? Even if you were brilliantly trained and you knew every word of what I say and what Tom Panos says and what John McGrath says, all of my mentors and me and all of us guys that you might be considering as coaches, even if you learned us off by heart, it's still going to be hard for you to be a 20-year-old going up against a 40-year-old. So you have got to work 3 times as hard. You've got to be 3 times as skilled. So I tell you, man, you have to make some changes or you are a ticking time bomb about to leave the industry. Maybe now that I've gotten into this episode a little bit, maybe this isn't right for every rookie, but it's definitely right for this young fella from New Zealand. Think about it, man. Ask your parents. If they own a house, would they give it to one of your mates with no experience who just got into real estate? Would they give their house to sell to one of your 20-year-old mates? You know what I mean? See, and ask your mum and dad to be absolutely honest. Ask a 40, 50-year-old that you know, would they give their house to sell, it might be worth $500 or $600, the family home, the only asset they may own, would they give it to one of your mates to sell and entrust? Would they give them a $3,000 marketing campaign upfront, non-refundable? Would they do it? I tell you, I promise you, 99 out of 140, 50-year-olds would not. You need to give them a reason to. You need to be so damn good with your words. That's only going to come through listening to. Now, good start contacting me. Good start getting some of my free stuff. I'll tell you what though, if you aren't listening to 3 or 4 hours of that free stuff, the $1 Million Agent podcast with Tom Panos, John McGrath, you need to be listening to everyone's podcast, everyone's training, getting your dialogues, getting every freebie I've got and putting it on repeat so that you can recite my stuff off by heart. And then, if you add to that skill, and then once you can repeat, don't think just being able to recite it and just knowing the right words to say, that's all I'm going to do it. Add to that 18-hour days, 7 days a week. Then you've got half a chance. Because I tell you what, looking at this, you're in trouble. I'm going to be honest with you. You are in trouble if something doesn't drastically change. I apologize. It's taken me a couple of weeks to get this video done. I may have jeopardized your career by leaving this rant go so long. So my apologies. So no appraisals. The next thing I ask for in the audit is, how you going? Well, it's all zeros, bud. So you need to do nothing now. Nothing except train, learn, deliver flyers, just get something to deliver in your letterbox, and you can do all of that before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m., right? Before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., you have to do nothing but ask people in your area if they'd like an update on price, if they'd like a free report. You can do the, and again, I'm going to draw another free resource and give you that. Boom. Go to that resource. That's a telephone telemarketing script. You can make that script and make those calls en masse between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You can be 12 hours dollar productive between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. at least 6 days a week. You've got half a chance. Otherwise, you might as well go get a job now. Work for someone else for a period of time. Get paid, because right now, this ain't going to work for you. If you're willing to do this, then you might have a chance. There's the script of a phone script that you can do. So between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 72 hours per week, you're to do nothing but eat and talk to human beings in your marketplace. Before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m., you can deliver your flyers, stay in shape, cuddle your family, go on a date. No, you can't go on a date. No chicks, no, I didn't see. Does it say whether you've got a, no kids, no wife. Good. No dates, no women, no drinking, right? Make it 7 days a week. Screw it. You're 20. You've got the energy. You can put in 7 hours, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. What's that add up to? 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 2, is that 84 hours a week? I don't know. But do it. 84, 90 hours a week. Do it. All right. Okay, sell or be sold, the sell, free. Okay, so currently reading. All right, I'm going to say you're going to stop reading, because look, I'm a big reader. Actually, I hate reading, but I read a lot. I force myself. I'm going to get you to stop reading. I'm going to get you started. If you can get those books on audiobook on iTunes and listen to them while you're in your marketplace, either door knocking or delivering flyers, then you can do that. But you haven't got time to read, right? I know that's going against everything, but right now, for the next 3 to 6 months, you need to stop reading books and start listening to audio programs, because then you can double up on your time effectiveness. You can't read a book while you're delivering flyers out in the marketplace. You can listen to that book while you're walking, while you're delivering flyers, thus doubling up your time effectiveness. So good books, not enough of them because there's only 3, and yeah, at the moment you have time to read, right? Sure, have one next to your bed and read it for 10 minutes before you drift off to sleep. But even then, I'd rather have an audio program that keeps playing while you're asleep. That's even better. Strengths, hardworking when fully committed. Well, if you're not fully committed, get out. Get out of the game if you're not fully committed, because with these results, you need to be fully committed. Reliable, multilingual, building rapport easily. Great, you need those things. But the hardworking one's the only one that's important right now. You need to ask in every given week over 500 people, minimum KPIs, 500 people, that you ask this question. Whether it's in that module that I give you before with the phone script, or whether it's just when you meet them in the street or whatever, 500 people a week need to be asked this. How long do you think it'll be before your house no longer meets the growing needs of yourself, your family, whatever the case may be? How long do you think it'll be before you move somewhere? And if they don't ask, you just say, look, if you had to guess, would it be 0 to 2 years, 2 to 5, or 5 or more? Right? That's what you need to ask. Lots. Minimum 500 times, whether it's on that script where we're doing like a survey, or whether it's simply asking people if they want an update on what their home's worth based on current economic changes. Here could be another script. And I do like mine. I like the one that I said before in that other module, but this one's okay as well. Just simply say, look, I don't know if you've seen some of the current upheaval. Some of the doomsayers are making all sorts of predictions. Look, before you go believing and reading into any of that hype, I get the information that you would have to normally pay for in order to get some research on what your house is currently worth, we actually pay for that in bulk. And so hence what you normally have to pay for, if you went to one of those sites, I can give you for free. So let me give you an update on what your property is worth. Are you home during the evenings, or should I drop it around during business hours? When would be best? It'd be great to just put a face to the name. Right, you need to ask that of some people 500 times a week. Right, that's 80 times a day, 6-7 days a week. That's what you need to do. Areas to improve in your business. Mindset, damn straight. If you don't have an immediate increase in your mindset, I mean through the roof, then come get a job. You know, actually you're in New Zealand, but yeah, you could work for someone like me. Go get a job. If you don't immediately decide, and you're only a decision away, decide that you are going to give this as if your life depended on it, because your business life, your real estate life does. All right, cool. Biggest frustrations in your business? Unknown brand. That doesn't matter. Not being known, well, yeah, you need to get known, but that doesn't matter if you're speaking to 500 people a week. You'll be rejected, by the way, by 494 of them, potentially. So that's 6 people that are going to allow you to do an appraisal on their home. Most agents don't get 6 appraisals a week. You're going to, because you're going to speak to 500 people. And here's your challenge. Once you get 6 people say yes, the next week you're still going to make 500 calls and do those 6 appraisals, right? And then heaven forbid one might list with you, right? So that next week you've got to upload, write the copy, take the photos, upload the listing, make your 600 calls, and do your next 6 appraisals. There's where it's going to get tough. But for now, 500 calls a week, right? That's it, 500. 500 connections, that's not 500 calls, that's $1,000 to $2,000 so that you speak to 500 human beings. All right, all this other stuff that are the biggest frustrations in your business, either fix, which you know you can, not doing what I need to every hour, well, you need to, right? I've solved that problem. You don't need to do anything between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. except talk to human beings in your marketplace or in the surrounding suburbs of your marketplace. You just need to talk to everyone, right? 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. You need to do that. So not doing what I need to do every hour, I've just made it so clear that there's no question anymore. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, well, like I said, look, this is where I get brutally honest. But you know what I'm saying? You're 20. Dude, there's a countdown. We call it Woolworths over here. There's a countdown down the road that needs someone to work for you, and they'll give you $25 an hour, or whatever it is, 20, 25, 30. You know? Is that what you want to do? If it is, see in 10 years when real estate's ready for you, when you're ready for real estate. But I tell you, all right, not having confidence in my abilities. You need to get it. You need to do all that training. When you do literally 4 hours of training a day, when you're drifting off to sleep, when you're walking your area in the mornings, 2 hours at night, 2 hours in the evening, when you're doing all the stuff you need to do, you're going to get confident. But you know what? You're 20, so I get it. You might not have confidence. This might not be right for you yet. You know, let me just keep going through this though. Number of hours you work per week, 10 hours. Dude, 10 hours? There's your problem. I mean, you know it. Dude, you didn't need to. When you were filling this out, that's where the challenge is. Number of hours you prefer to work, 80 plus hours, damn straight. There's no reason you're not. You need to shift this. Absolutely. Shift that immediately. Or go get a job at Countdown. Woolworths for us Aussies. Okay. Describe your USP. Why should I list with you over other agencies? Multilingual, service-driven, ethical, and never in it for only the dollars. Yeah, okay, good. But none of those are going to compel a client to list with you. So eventually we need to work on that. But we don't need to work on your USP. We call that your unique selling proposition. We don't need to work on that yet because you're not in front of any people yet. So you just need to get in front of some people. Don't worry about it yet. You know, just get in front of some bodies. Okay, good. Don't worry about what I say here. What does your competition do? Don't worry about it. They just do more than you. You know, mate, this sounds insulting, and it's not. Please, I'm saying this to you because you will thank me 10 years from now. You may hate me now. You think, this is the advice I want to get. I wanted to hug. I wanted to get told that you'll be doing okay. You are that close to being gone. So, yeah, don't worry about what your competition doing because they're all doing more than you right now. And you might have to go work for one of them. I'm serious, you might. Have not done any marketing. Okay, so I say describe the marketing, haven't done any. And that's okay because you haven't got any dollars as yet rolling in. So your marketing is going to be those phone calls. It's inefficient, but you're going to reach 500 people a week with your message of just begging to give them an update on price. That's all you're going to do. Follow-up procedures for clients where you haven't got any yet. You know, you've got text, call up, keep in touch with email, or call or visit once a month. But if there's no one on your database, man, you're not doing those things. That's just what you would do, which is fine. Please do that. We'll worry about getting clever later once we know that you've got 1 cent in this business and that you've done, you know, a few of these things. Okay. What do you do for gifts? Don't worry about it yet because you haven't got a sale. But you are going to do a better job than just giving them $500 cash. You're not going to do that. You can do something cleverer, but we'll talk about that in 6 to 12 months. Current marketing programs, you're doing Facebook and anything that is free. Look, if Facebook is still affordable, keep playing there a little bit, but before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m., not 1 second are you allowed to look at your phone during the hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. unless it's to pick it up and dial someone, right? Or knock on the door, whatever. No Facebooking. Certainly no creating of Facebook ads during work time. That can be done pre-8 or post-8. Pre-8A or post-8P. Okay. Your biggest opportunity and how do you plan to take advantage of it? Door knocking and cold calling. Feel free to do door knocking if you want. I prefer cold calling because it's more time efficient. You can knock out your 500. You won't door knock 500 in a week. It says mindset prevents me and cripples me. Well, but here's what I'm saying. Do it because you haven't got the dollars to invest in the marketing so you can avoid it. So do it or go get a job as a PA for someone. I'm serious. That might be your option. If that's not a plan B, you need to hook into this like a madman. But if it is a plan B, it's more than okay at 20 years old to go get a job. Christ, I drank beer, bourbon, and whatever till I was like late 20s, nearly 30. So it's okay to not be $1 million real estate agent at 20 years old with 6 months experience. That's okay, you know. But now I've just let you off the hook. If that's not acceptable to you, if you find my answer is condescending, which in many ways I almost tried to be, go on, love, you go get yourself a job. That's okay. Now, I didn't mean it that condescending, but you know what I'm saying? If that annoyed you, use that annoyance to freaking go and do what has to be done. Otherwise, it's okay to go get a job, and I mean it. I'm not being condescending. I mean it. It's okay. Biggest marketing problem, not enough dollars. No, you don't need more resources. You need more resourcefulness. You're not going to spend your way out of this because you haven't got the skill yet. The only way to get out of this one, baby, is work your way out of it. Okay. Oh, it says, okay, if you can't, it's saying here you may not be able to print cheap flyers in-house. So you need to go to your printers and you can contact my team. I think we've got a New Zealand printer and see what the cheapest flyer is that we can get you done. But you're not going to market your way out of this one. Marketing will be a nice supplement to your calls. 500 at least calls a week. I mean it. 500 connections a week where 494 people tell you to sod off in some way, shape or form. 6 of them say maybe next month or year or whatever. And 2 of them say, yeah, come around and give us an update on the price of the house. 2 out of 500. You're going to be miserable by the end of the month. But bad luck. That's what, when you're 30 years old, when you're getting paid $1 million a year, now's the price you're paying. Because believe me, when you're earning $1 million a year, you won't be working to earn $1 million a year. Now you're going to earn the million. When you're 30, you're going to be paid the million. That's the harsh reality. You're going to work now as if you're earning 20 grand a week, right? Getting up at 3 a.m. in order to do the job. Getting to bed. Look, I'm not preaching the convert. I'm not whatever the wording is. See, I'm so tired that can't even get the words out. I got to bed at 1 a.m. this morning. I was up at 3:30 a.m. this morning for my 4 o'clock first coaching call. So don't think that you're alone in this. I'm hustling more than you are from the sounds of it. And I need to hustle less. Right? I could get away with hustling less. Yet I'm up from 1 till 3:30 was when I slept. 1 a.m. till 3:30 a.m., 2.5 hours. Right? So that's the deal. All right. Okay. You're saying I can change the industry, but I'm not seeing it yet. All the respect in the world. I've seen on Facebook you're doing a few things that are benefiting you. It's all good. But at the moment in the industry, you're talking about the industry here. I know I can change the industry. I'm not seeing it yet based on this audit. Show me. Don't tell me on the audit. Show me. All right, you just said, what do you expect as Glenn's most important to you? Being honest? Man, I hope this has been brutally honest. I hope it hasn't been offensive. And yeah, Okay. All right. So that's pretty much my GT show. I've gone a little bit over, but it needed it. I hope that's been helpful for you, bud. If that was the harshest reality I think I've ever given anyone in a long time. But then, rarely have I seen someone so new doing so little. Man, there it is. I might do a quick follow-up call to you privately. Just on Facebook, I'll send you one of those voice messages. I do have one piece of advice that I would like to keep private for you. But yeah, that's only particular to one thing I read in this audit that is not appropriate for public to know. And everything else, I'm sure you're more than happy. And I'm sure I've made no revelations here. Really all I've just said is you need to work harder. You want to get paid more than your Prime Minister and our Prime Minister, which is what a good listing and selling real estate agent can earn. You want to get paid more than the highest ranking official in your country. Because our PM, I think, earns $320,000 a year as a wage. I'm sure yours is about the same. You want to earn more than that? You need to do far more than you're doing. So I've ranted on long enough. I think I made my point. You asked, and unfortunately I gave you an honest answer that was not fun for me, and I know it wasn't fun for you. We will look back on this. It hurts me to say this shit, man. I promise you, I don't like it. We'll look back on this video 10 years from now. You'll come up to me and you'll say, Glenn, I hated that video you did for me. Thanks for nothing is what I was thinking back then. And it was exactly what I needed, because here's what I've achieved since. And I'll be very proud to hug you then, man, and say, dude, man, I barely remember the video because I help a lot of people, but I kind of do remember that actually this one will stick out for a while because I don't like these ones. But, man, it was the right advice, I promise. So study your ass off, work your ass off, no sleep, no hobbies, no nothing. And if you can't get your mindset right, dude, go get a job and work for someone until the time is right for you to do what needs to be done in order to be successful in this industry, in this career, or in whatever it is that you're wanting to nail. So that's it. Episode of the GT Show. Hope that was helpful. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this half an hour, you deserve a medal. So check below for the show, for the links to all of those various resources. If you're watching this somewhere other than YouTube, go to YouTube, and all the links to those other modules will be on the video there. So, wow, that was full on. Thank you for watching, and until next time, folks. Bye.